Hey everyone, Dockwell here, and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a Legion Commander build for patch 7.33D, and just like I said in the other videos, I've made in-game guides, in-game builds for every single hero in the game, and some people have been having trouble seeing them or finding them, so I think you should be able to see them. I don't know, I actually submitted a ticket to Steam to be like, why can't people find them? It's very weird, but at least one way I know you can is that you can actually click the link below in the description, or I have a comment there. You can go to my Steam workshop page and follow me there. Make sure to give my guides a thumbs up if you use them. That way I think that might help more people see them. I'm not exactly sure. I'll figure it out. But either way, I do have that. So if you are interested, you can go there, look at those. I designed them basically to be obviously they're tailored to, the pros and the high MMR players determine what is good. But then I basically kind of make that be what is the ideal in terms of stomping pubs and carrying from all the positions? If you really want to carry and do really well, what are you going to buy? And so that's kind of how I tailored these guys, not necessarily to what you buy or what the pros buy every single time for team items and that kind of stuff, but how do we carry games solo if we're really good and I wanted to stomp a game at lower MMR or mid MMR, whatever it is. And that's how I designed the guide. So go ahead, look at those. Like I said, give a thumbs up if you do use them. And now we're going to jump into the Legion Commander build for patch 7.33D, and Legion Commander is one of the best heroes. This is just the best offlaner, period. It's even good in pros, but for pubs, there's just no question this hero is amazing. It's getting picked at high MMRs, but in any lower MMR pub too, this is just number one hero. You're gonna stomp if you know how to play it. You're never gonna lose if you just have any semblance of a team, or you don't lose your lane, which is very hard to lose your lane. So if you know what you're doing, you're going to win so often. This hero is absolutely ridiculous. I'll probably show you, I have the win rate here. I might show you on the screen if I remember. I have the win rate in my recent month or so with Legion Commander. With Slark and Void, Faceless Void, I also have 80% win rate. These heroes are just broken. Now, keep in mind, I'm not smurfing, but I did lose some MMR due to Glico because I didn't play for 6 months, so that's also part of it. But these heroes are just really, really good. So, and I may release some videos in the future of what I'm doing in these lower MMR games to get to 80% win rate. But in any case, let's just get into this specific build. This hero's broken. This hero's so good. I'll show you what I do, how I do it, at least with the build. So first, we're going to start off with the items. These are pretty straightforward, pretty obvious. You're just going to buy your Quelling Blade, your Tangos, and then your stats. You're buying the Gauntlets of Strength because you're not going to build a Bracer. You just want to have these here in case you end up needing to go for a Soul Ring later, which you don't really want to buy Soul Ring early. So just leave these items in your inventory and don't upgrade them because your timings early on are very important. It just maybe, once it gets to 20 plus minutes, if you're having mana issues, you're using spells so often that you can't stay on the map, you just honestly might want to finish a Soul Ring really quick, which I do occasionally if I need it. So that's kind of why you have these, but you don't want to build bracers necessarily. And then you have the Iron Branches, obviously, to build into Wand and to eat if you need to, if you're having a hard lane. But I pretty much go Phase Boots first every single time. I just rush them right away, unless it's a very spell-casty lane, and then you do want to finish your Magic Wand first, but a lot of times you just want to get Phase Boots as quick as possible and then finish your Magic Wand. And then from here, I always buy Blade Mail first, every single time. I know people are like, blink first, blink first. It's no, because you basically should rely on yourself to be good enough. And this hero's so good at the laning stage that you should always be able to get good last hits and good farm. It should be reliable 100% of the time. Even if your support's bad and not pulling or whatever, you can go jungle, you can intercept the pull, you can cut the wave, you can just do so many things that you can always get reliable farm. And then once you get this, it will speed up your farm. It will ensure you are able to secure kills early on. Basically, once you hit 6, and if you have Blade Mail 8 minutes or whatever, the support just is not allowed to be anywhere close to you. And if the carry is bad and gets close to you as well, they're just going to die. Honestly, that's how good this hero is. Because if they approach the creep wave, you're standing there, you just click duel, you just click Blade Mail, duel, and then you click your Q, and it's just over. They will lose the duel every time, and you'll just snowball from there. So that's why I always buy Blade Mail. Maybe in the past with the hero and how it was before 7.33, it would maybe make sense to buy Blink first, but I just think there's no excuse to buy Blink first unless you're having an awful, awful, awful laning stage. Your support is just trolling or just not there at all, or, whatever it is, maybe you were bad and it's your first few games on Legion. I get it, but honestly, just buy Blade Mail every time. Like I said, better laning stage once you get it, or you can stay in the lane, you can take the tower, you can farm faster, and then you'll get your blink timing. If you go Blade Mail first and then blink, you'll have a better blink blade mail timing than if you go blink first blade mail. That's obvious because this just increases your farm speed. So I will just do this every single time. You should be able to get some duels early on before your blink, but then after you get the tower, after the laning stage is kind of over, then you're just playing for blink dagger basically to be your item that is now I can just like nobody's allowed to split push, because if they split push, if they're alone, I'm killing them every single time. Then from there, that's like the items you're always going to have. Then it deviates a little bit. Basically, I have BKB and AC as the main items you're going to buy. And basically, you can do either one first. If you just like need the BKB because there's a lot of stuns, you just feel like you can't have reliable duels because every time you're going in, or maybe they're just grouping up a lot and so they're just stunning you and your duels aren't really working out that great, you can buy BKB to just ensure that you're going to win those. But a lot of times, honestly, probably 60-70% of the games, I go AC first because I'm snowballing so hard. I'm just crushing the game. And this just gives me, you know, more attack speed, more damage, more armor. Just it gives me everything that I want to just snowball even harder. And then I'll go back for the BKB a little bit later once my enemies have a little bit more items just to close out the game. And then I put Shard in here just because you're going to want to get this sometime. It's just like, it's worth it on the hero and it's really good for the price. And it's, you know, once you're completing all these items, you're going to go for these like really late game items. You probably just want to have Shard before you go to these really late game items. But this is pretty much going to be standard every single time. And then before we get to late game, actually, I will just mention one other item. So I already mentioned Soul Ring. Around this time, you know, when you're about to purchase one of these or something, you might want to get Soul Ring. And the other big item, which is a situational item, but you actually are going to purchase it a lot on the hero, is going to be Halberd. And that's because this is the item that you use to counter Linken's. So if you're snowballing the game and you're just like crushing it, which you're going to be doing all the time because this hero's broken, the enemy is just going to rush like second item Linken's on like their mid and their carry. They're just going to get pissed. And they're just like, you're going to be playing against like 4 Linken's. Trust me. It's like position 4, 1 through 4, they're all going to buy Linken's because they're mad and you're just dueling them all the time off cooldown and they're just dying. And so what you need to usually buy, honestly, sometimes I will buy, I'll usually be able to finish an Assault Cuirass before I get this Halberd, but I honestly will get Halberd usually after that or after BKB because by that time people are buying the Linken's. And you kind of want to check people's items to see like, are they buying the Linken's? And then you can get this, you can start getting this before they get the Linken's completed. So once they have it, it's pretty much like, oh, well, you have a Linken's? Well, I have the Halberd now. You click Halberd on them to pop the Linken's, you duel them, and they die anyway. So I will say that before we get into the late game. So that happens a lot. And then late game, once you have all these items, you're just going for straight up damage. I mean, you just go for Daedalus, that's just raw damage, 100%. MKB if they have some evasion. Agnum Scepter if, you know, once it's late game, like unless you have a Skywrath Mage or something else that's doing a lot of damage into your, you know, when you are dueling, which honestly half the time you don't even need. But if that is the case, you might not want to get Ags and just get something else. But Ags is really good as like a last item just to make your duels even longer, lower cooldown, all that kind of stuff. And then Overwhelming Blink at some point. You might want to get Overwhelming Blink before you get Ags, that kind of stuff. But these are like the last 2 big items. And then you have the situational ones because once you honestly, if you get like a lot of these items, you won the game. You can like 4-hit racks, honestly. You can just like backdoor, like even if you're having trouble later in the game, you can like split push and stuff like that because you're going to have such high damage after all those duels. But like, so yeah, if you're getting to any of these items, you're just going to crush. Now you can get Daedalus, or I mean, sorry, not Daedalus, Desolator, like earlier on. That is an item you can get. I don't usually get it because AC is just like, if you look at what they actually do, yes, this gives you more damage, but you don't really need like the damage number necessarily. You just want like the minus armor and attack speed. So this is giving you -6 armor, where this is giving them -5. So it's literally only 1 armor, and this just gives you damage, which you don't necessarily need because you're getting so much of it from the duels. This is attack speed and everything else, a little bit of tankiness too, and helps your team. So that's why AC is just straight up better. So I usually don't get Deso. And then Moonshard is could be in a late game item. Like this is just like giga damage, like just absolutely insane. But these are usually a better bang for your buck with this hero. Silver Edge, if you feel like you need to be a little more stealthy, if you need a break for whatever reason, you can get Basher and Abyssal if you just feel like you need lockdown because you're, you know, all you really have is your duel. But if you need some other kind of lockdown, Diffusal against Medusa, pretty straightforward. Heart, if you just like actually need to be tankier, because sometimes, you know, you're doing a lot of damage, but they can blow you up or whatever. So you actually need to, like, let's say you're dueling like, I don't know, a Jug or some hero that actually can like man fight you in duel. It's kind of rare, but maybe a Troll. you just might want to get heart just to like survive it a little bit better or something like that. Lincoln's every once in a while, situational item, and then Satanic as well, situational item. Like if you need to survive, if you need to heal up, like you need to man fight people, these like man fighting items or like safety items. But honestly, if you're getting these items, it's because you're probably in a bad spot. You honestly just want to go for damage and try to pick people off and like push racks or split push and that kind of stuff. So that is the item build for Legion. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. You're just straight up going damage and attack speed and just like dueling people off cooldown and just crushing the game. And then for our skill build, it's pretty simple as well. You're just going to go overwhelming odds and just max this out, skilling Moment of Courage twice, every other level here before you get 6, obviously, because this spell is not trash. It's still very good, but this spell is just the worst spell now. It's just not the laning stage spell, where before you just like never knew which spells to level up. This spell is just your best spell. It's amazing. It's the one that does all the damage in lane. It's the one that increases your attack speed, and it's the one that allows you to secure duels. So you're obviously maxing this. And then this also lets you farm quicker and sustain in lane and, get multiple attacks on the enemy. So you can kind of just like aggro the creeps by running at the enemy and clicking them, and then you just get these Moment of Courage procs, and it's like very hard for the carry to lane against you, especially if he's a melee carry. And that's pretty much obvious. Then you get your duel at 6. You get your duel every single time you can level it up. Then you max out Moment of Courage, and then you max out press the attack last. You can get like one level of press the attack even early on if you need to. So if there's like a Venomancer Gale or something else that you really need to purge to like save yourself, save your 4 position, you can totally level this earlier on. I do put, like I say here, put a level in it at 8, just so you have something there, so you have some kind of purge, because it is a very good spell. It does heal you as well, so it is good sustained. You don't want to just like keep it, not to have it at all to like level 13 or whatever. Just keep that in mind. But yes, we are going to do that. So there is a little bit of a flexibility there, but for the most part, we're going to max this out and then max this out last. And then for the talents here, basically we're going to go for extra duel damage. That's just basically what this hero does. And so once you get this and once you get your level 2 ultimate, you start racking up the duel damage so quickly. It's insane. And then obviously we're not going to be getting the regen. We're just going to be getting the damage, because the Q now is just what does so much damage. Like if you duel people within creeps, or even if you get like 4 heroes around together, like grouped up, and you press your Q, like, dude, it does insane amounts of damage. I think I got like an ultra kill one time because I just ran. I was like late to the fight. I ran in, there was 4 low health people, and I just clicked Q and they all died like instantly. I think 3 of them died. Like one of them I had to attack again or something like that, but it was absolutely ridiculous. This spell does so much damage. And then this, it just helps you do more damage, sustain more, duel better. And then basically I say pick this, honestly, because yes, these press the attack skills are very good, talents are good, and this is a very good one. And I think press the attack debuff immunity is something that honestly you probably should take. It's like a better team thing. It's like you give yourself BKB. Overall, I would say that is better. But this is like the I'm going to carry the game and win duels talent, so that's why I say pick this. Now, I don't think you can go wrong with either one, but this is probably overall the better one. But this is like the I'm going to solo the game and carry the game kind of thing, because this is like helping your teammates. You have a BKB, that little extra bit of purge with the BKB isn't usually going to help you. You probably don't need that as much. You just want to like win duels. Now, if you're not having trouble winning duels or anything like that, like you just feel like you don't even need this at all, obviously you can go press the attack, grants debuff immunity. Like, yeah, of course, go this. But this is just like, if you need that little bit of extra kick to like kill a troll or whatever. So that's what I would take. That's why I have that there, because it's like, I'm going to stomp the pub kind of build. So that is the Legion Commander build for patch 7.33b. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.